Yeah?
Sorry, something
No,
went
no.
wrong.
No problem. Just to explain to you, I switched off the camera because I have some trouble with my computer at the camera at the moment, so this is why I didn't switch it on. I don't want to be impolite, it just does not work. So
Okay.
sorry for that.
No, no problem.
So, official start 1st of May, duration 3 years, partners, I think 8 industry partners and 3 non-industry partners. So, or 8 and 4 or something like that. So, really strong involvement of industry. Main focus is on smart living and smart health. So everything which means at home, being healthy at home or being sick at home or being normally at home or being child at home or being pregnant at home or being suffering from dementia at home. So it's home plus a little bit of around home. So if I'm trying to improve my fitness, sometimes one could go jogging. Those things will still count as home. But going on holidays is no longer home. And work is no longer home. And going to build smart homes, this is then smart housing or smart cities. This is perhaps the context of being at home, but is not enough focus. And what we try to do is to find a way to engage large companies, and we have large companies just as Siemens, Ericsson, Telefonica, Infineon, Atos, and Otto Bock at hand, that you might know some of them, to let them experience the benefits of RRI and citizen engagement. So it's less about setting up strategies and agendas and checklists and so on. It's much more pushing them to real world experiences of citizen engagement and innovation.
Oh, okay. Good. And so you are going to carry out some pilot initiatives, I understand.
Yeah, there will be 6 labs all across Europe, each of them consisting of 3 workshops on different aspects of future living and with involving citizens and according to the principles of responsible innovation.
Okay, and the innovation will be in the mostly in the organization of enterprise.
No. It will be about bringing together. Well, it's much more about orientating technology development towards user needs. To put it short, connecting smart homes to the internet might mean that my stove or my refrigerator now is connected to the internet. I don't know what it's good for. Perhaps Facebook knows and perhaps Amazon knows, but it's not good for me. So what can I get out of it that my fridge now is connected to the internet? On the other hand, many people suffering from digestion problems, allergic reactions, and so on. And they have a problem. So can we bring together these problems and needs with the technologies that are already out there? At the moment, at smart home context, there are a lot of solutions looking for problems. And on the other hand, there are people having real needs. And the issue is to bring together people who are not selected based on any kind of representative sampling, but bring together lead users, you could call them lead citizens, people who are really into having needs and not to having concerns. We know that there's a huge debate about privacy and data security regarding smart homes, and we know that there are a lot of people afraid or angry because they think it's about data protection. Yes, it is, but this does not open up new ideas or new innovations, just to have some concerns. The question is, can we co-develop new ideas? And if this works out, and if we just have a few brilliant ideas in this workshops, in these labs, I think this will also change the mindset of the industry.
Okay.
This is what we want to do. Sounds a little bit like Open Innovation Plus.
Okay, very good. And if you told me that you had a look at the scheme I sent you.
Yeah.
And of course, this is mostly focused for interviewing people in projects similar to ours.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to know what are the other projects or on RR&I you have been, if any, you participated, you worked at. But in general, I would ask you some questions about some aspect of changing organization toward RR&I. I am not focusing the attention on just one project, because from what I understand, you are in this research community, but you are not always doing research on this, just on this, and in order to reply to when you have to provide some example, you can mention that case or that case without referring just to the same project, as it was on with, for example, certain initiatives like RR&I practice project, etc., in which they were talking of their experience and just of that. That's my question. So,
okay, I had a look at the scheme for the interviews you sent me.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, I had difficulties of applying it to myself and to think about what can I answer to these questions, and this was because of three aspects. The first aspect is that you strongly follow the understanding of RR&I following the 5 key issues of the European Commission, which I completely understand. However, as I also explained in this introduction paper from the special issue, I think that this is at the moment a quite artificial concept of the Commission, and I did not dare to write this, but I dare to say this. I think to a certain extent it's counterproductive.
Okay.
I think the 5 key elements, they are just some kind of other business that was not taken care of at the Commission level for the last decades. And then some people came up and said, let's bundle it together. It's all about side issues. It's not the key issue, but it's a kind of side effect. And let's bring it together and give it a nice name and to make it more prominent. It's just like having 5 street dogs that nobody took care of, and now you have a kind of stage where these 5 poor street dogs that were always underdogs now could become stars, and now have a boy group of 5 street dogs. That's for me the big concern about RRI at the moment. I think it's the community dealing with RRI is quite proud that they managed to establish themselves, while people who are not so much into this, they don't appreciate it so much, to my impression. So it's a little bit self-referential. It's a little bit that we play our own game, talking to each other, but do the outsiders really care? And is the concept capable of making outsiders care, and which outsiders? So as long as we talk about spending public money and having this as a side effect of responsibly spending money, I would say it could work. To say, okay, if the reference system is the European Commission, if it's funding organizations, if it's the framework program itself, to say it should be open access, it should take care about ethics, it's about gender, okay, nice. Could be done. If it should apply in a broader sense, let's say to universities in their core business, to independent research organizations in their core business, or even to the business sector in their core business, it more and more is not fitting the purpose, to my impression.
Okay.
Because the operationalization of saying what does it mean to carry out innovation and research in a responsible way, it's not the best definition to use the 5 key terms.
Well, I try to I understand your point, and